Hello, everyone. Dr. Michelini here. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about summarizing sources, some of the best ways to summarize, and why we might do that before actually using a source. So let's jump in. First of all, why would we take the time to summarize a source? We're probably not going to end up copying and pasting a summary into a research paper, right? Or we shouldn't. But it's still helpful to summarize the source to get a better understanding of the text as a whole. And I'm talking about a relatively short summary here, like 5 to 7 sentences, to show that you understand the text as a whole, you understand what's going on in that text, and you can better identify how it supports your argument. And that's my second point here, is summarizing that text will help you find those main points because you'll see the whole picture of it and you'll be able to say, you know what, this is the part that supports my argument. And then once you have those points that support your argument and you know you're not misreading it because you've gone over all the main points, you can point those out to yourself, take notes on them, and make sure that you have them ready to use in your own paper when you go to write it. This ends up with better integration of the text that you're reading into your own paper because you can summarize it as a whole, you know its main points, and you know which points help to support your argument, okay? So how do we best do that? First of all, as you read, you can start to summarize by annotating. Annotating is a fancy word for highlighting and taking notes while you're reading a text. So basically, if something stands out to you, you can digitally highlight or highlight if you've printed it out, or write on the side, or write in a little notes document, or whatever you do to take note of what is important as you go. This will help you, again, just comprehend the text as a whole and understand which points to use for yourself. The other thing that you can do as you look at a text overall is look for the headings and subheadings. These are section headers that tell you what the next paragraphs are going to be about. And most texts have them. They're either going to have a title and then some subheadings under that, or they might have multiple levels of headings where you have, like, you know, the title and then the first heading and then heading 2 and heading 3 as the author breaks down their different points. So look for these because they'll tell you what that section is about before you even read it. The other thing you should do when you're starting to summarize a text or get the picture as a whole is pay close attention to the introduction and the conclusion. In the introduction, they're typically going to give you an overview of what is contained in that text, either through an abstract. If you have that at the top, it's like a nice little preview of the text, or an introductory couple of paragraphs that walk you through what this paper is going to be about. You can also find the wrap-up points closer to the conclusion. So you want to revisit the end of the paper to say, okay, what was their main point here, right? What was at the heart of what they were getting at? If you're skimming through it to get an idea of the text overall, you should also read each topic sentence of each paragraph, meaning that first sentence of every body paragraph, you're going to read it, and then maybe the last sentence of that body paragraph as well, to make sure that you understand where they're going next and what that paragraph was about. Okay, and if you've read it before, you can skim the details in the middle as you go through to create your summary. As you are reading, you can also take note of any quotes that you might want to use in your own paper, but you don't want to include quotes in a summary. After all, you only have 5 to 7 sentences to talk about what this paper is about, and a quote taking up one of those is probably not the best way of utilizing that space, okay? So if you have a 20-page article or a multi-page website or web page that you're working with a lot of paragraphs, you want to condense it down to 5 to 7 sentences, and using a quote is going to take up a lot of that space, right? So note them for later, though. It's a great idea to do, okay? Those are some tips for summarizing, and take care. I'll see you online.